Okay, hi, good afternoon, grade 10. Welcome to our music class. So let me introduce myself. I am your teacher for today, Miss Richie C. Lunay. So before we start with our discussion, let us have, um, may I call someone to please lead us a short prayer? Laura Deli, kindly lead us a short prayer. So, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sin, as we forgive those who sin against us. Do not bring us to the test, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Okay. Um, Now, I will give you 15 seconds to ease up yourself and settle down and make sure that you are in a good situation right now, class, and you have a strong connection. So, now, instead of checking your attendance face to face or personally, Class B, they'll kindly list the names of those students who are not with us today and submit it to me afterwards. Okay? Now, I want to present to you our classroom or online rules. So, number one, be ready to learn, listen and follow directions, mute your mic if you want to speak, be respectful of others, always do your best, believe in yourself, work hard, and have fun. So, are you now ready with our session for today, class? Okay, that's good to hear. So, before we proceed, let's have first an activity. Or before with that, I want to present to you the objectives so that you know the flow of our lesson for today. Okay, so at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to define what is Impressionism, describe distinct elements of Impressionism, music and its composers, and evaluate music using guided questions. Now, for your activity, the activity is called What Genre I Am Belong. So, are you ready? Okay, that's good to hear. So, these are the instructions for your activity. Guess what type of genre is the music belong? Is it rock, pop, jazz, or impressionism? Raise your hand and tell your surname for you to recognize. Be attentive because the music will be played only once. Are you ready, class? Okay, that's right. So let's have the first music.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering.
Okay, yes, Jules. What type of genre does the music belong? Okay, precisely. He is correct. The music belongs to jazz music. Thank you, Jules. Now let's have the second music.
Minsan naisip ko na umalis na lang dito.
Yes, Tristan? Precisely. It belongs to rock music. Very good. And how about this second music? Third music.
Built a home and watched it burn.
Yes, Jocelyn? You have something to say? Okay, very good. It belongs to pop music. Okay, thank you, Jocelyn. How about this music? Yes, Aljay? Precisely. It belongs to Impressionism music class. And the last music is this one. Yes, Jenaline? Okay, very good. It also belongs to Impressionism music. Okay. Have you enjoyed the activity, class? Okay, that's good to hear. So, thank you, class, for your participation. Now, based from the activity you did, what do you think is our topic for today? Yes, Frances? Okay, you are right. The topic for today is all about the music of the 20th century, specifically the Impressionism music. So, do you know what is Impressionism music? Okay, so today we will tackle about the Impressionism music, which is one of the music of the 20th century class. So before we define what is Impressionism, let us first talk about your favorite genre of music. Is that okay? Okay, so what music do you usually listen to, class? Are you into rock, pop, or hip hop music? Okay, that's good to hear, and I'm sure you enjoy listening to this type of genres of music, right? Okay, so like any other product of modernization class, these songs have gone through several phases of development. And as you continue your journey through the ages of this music, okay, you will get a view of how this music has evolved or has developed into what it is today. Okay, so our lesson for today covers the music of the 20th century, which is the Impressionism music. So what is Impressionism music? So Impressionism music. As the world entered the 20th century, a new era in music was introduced, and Impressionism was one of the earliest musical forms that paved the way to this modern era. Impressionism is a French movement in the late 19th century and early 20th century. The sentimental melodies and dramatic emotionalism of the preceding Romantic period, whose themes and melody are easy to recognize and enjoy, were being replaced in favor of moods and impressionism. So, okay, class. So, that is impressionism. Those are the music who has sentimental melodies where it depicts dramatic emotionalism as you hear those kind of song. So, from the word impression class, the whole idea for this is that artists and musicians were done to convey moods with their music instead of actually depicting the reality. But my question is that how do you know if you are listening to Impressionism music? Anyone? Yes, Kate Ann? Okay, very good. So, Kate Ann said that if the music sounds calm and it depicts peace, or and it is played by a piano, okay, that is um, her idea of what is Impressionism music. Okay, thank you, Kate Ann. So, one example that adopts the characteristics of Impressionism music class is what we call the ambient music. So, are you familiar with this word ambient or the ambient music? Okay, that's good to hear. So I have here an example of ambient music class, and I want you to observe, to listen to the characteristics of this music. Okay. So that is the ambient music class. So um, um, Jomar, when you hear the music, which is the ambient music, where can you usually hear this kind of sound? Okay, thank you for your idea, Jomar. So he said that when he um, hear the sound of ambient music, he said that it is also used as a music background, which is also correct because these are really often used as background music, and the style has an elements of space when you get to listen to this kind of music. Now, let's have a brief background of the composers of Impressionism music. So let's have the composers of Impressionism music. We have Claude Debussy. Okay, are you familiar with this composer class? Okay, yes, because I guess you have already um, encountered this name during your art appreciation subject. Okay, so who is Claude Debussy? So he is one of the most influential and leading composers of the 20th century. He was the principal exponent of the Impressionism movement and the inspiration for other Impressionist composers. He reformed the course of musical development by eradicating traditional rules and conventions into a new language of possibilities in harmony, rhythm, form, texture, and color. He was born on August 22, 1862 in a small town in France, and he composed a total of more or less 227 masterpieces, which include orchestral, chamber, music, piano, operas, and many more. And here are some of the works of Claude Debussy. So we have the string quartet, the La Mer, which is the highly imaginative and atmospheric musical work for orchestra about the sea, which is the premier arabesque. And lastly, we have the Clair de Lune or the Moonlight, which is the third and most famous movement of Suite Bergamasque. So that is Claude Debussy. Now let's proceed to the second composers, who is um, Joseph Maurice Ravel. So he was born in Cibourg, France, to a Basque mother and a Swiss father. And at the age of 14 class, he entered the Paris Conservatory, where he was musically nurtured by a prominent French composer, Gabriel Fauré. Okay, and the compositional style of Ravel was mainly characterized by its distinctively innovative but not atonal style. Okay, those are the music that is written in a way that is not based on any particular key of harmonic or treatment. And just like Claude Debussy, Maurice Ravel has also his unique works, okay, which are the um, Pavane for a Dead Princess, the String Quartet, the Sonata for Piano, the Rhapsody Espagnole, and the Bolero. So those are some of the works of Maurice Ravel, and Claude Debussy and Maurice Ravel are the two famous composers of Impressionism who has a key roles, okay, during the 20th century. Now, let's now proceed to the characteristics, okay, of Impressionism music. So, what are those characteristics? We have three class. So, these are the color, okay, which is the timbre or the tone quality, the atmosphere or the mood of the song, the chords or using unusual scales. So, I have here a um, example, okay, of a tone quality or a color of a sound. So we have here a lead guitar. Okay, unfortunately, the video is not playing class, so I guess you are now familiar with the sound of a lead guitar, because my goal here um, is to play a sound of a lead guitar and a bass guitar, and I want you to recognize the difference between the sound of the two instruments. And I guess you have already hear or familiar with the sound of lead guitar and a bass guitar. Am I right? Okay, so the video is not playing, so let's just imagine that you had already listened to the sound of the two instruments, and um, what did you observe about their timbre, Michelle? Okay, thank you, Michelle. So she said that the timbre of a lead guitar and a bass guitar are different. Okay, they have different tone quality, which is right because each instrument has its own distinct timbre, and it helps us judge whether what we're listening to is a lead guitar or a bass guitar. Because if you're listening to a lead guitar, okay, the music um, sounds bright, and when we tend to listen to a bass guitar, the music tends to be okay dark or rough like that. Now I have also here a music of Prelude to the Afternoon of a Phone. But like the first video, it's not also playing class. But I will, don't worry because I will send the sample of this uh, music to the to in our G, so that in our group chat, so that you will be able to listen also and observe the timbre, okay, the timbre used from this video. But since it's not playing, okay, let's just proceed to the next characteristics. Okay, so um, we have also this one, declare the loon. Okay, so the second characteristics um, the uh, of the impressionism music is the atmosphere. Now, did you know that this music, Clear the Loon, was used in the Hollywood movie Twilight Saga? Okay, so this music was used in the Twilight Saga. Now I want you to listen to it, class. Okay, so what musical instrument is being played on the music class? Yes, Michelle? Okay, obviously, class, it is played using a piano instrument. And Jomar, may I have your idea of how did the music affect your mood or feelings in terms of the general atmosphere of the piece? Okay, thank you, Jomar, for sharing. So, he said that he feel relaxed now and overwhelmed when playing the music. And thank you for sharing. Yes, that's right, because the mood of the song feels like you are in a calm and peace place. Am I right? And it is also relaxing and overwhelming, as what Jomar said. Now, for your information, class, Clear de Lune is a French for light of moonlight, or yeah, moon, because just by simply listening to it, you can now easily have an impression about the mood that it wants to suggest, like the night hour or peaceful and quiet place. So that is the Clear de Lune. Now let's have the last characteristics of impressionism music, which is the use of chords. Okay, so composers of impressionism experimented in writing music using chords. And what are these chords? These are the unusual scales, and uh, those unusual scales are the whole tone scale. Okay, so uh, what is your idea about whole tone scale? Yes, Jules? Okay, very good. So he said that whole tone scale is a scale in which note is separated from the next by the interval of the next note. And here is an example of popular song that uses whole tone scale. So this is the You Are the Sunshine of My Life. Okay, so that is the example of using whole tone scale, class. So, Jaime, okay, may I call Jaime. What moment in your life do you remember when you hear this music? That's interesting. Okay, he said that when he listens to this music, he remembered the love of his life and also his parents. And yes, it could also be about your life or your journey you're stepping right now. Now, my question is, why do you think composers like Stevie Wonder experimented with music this way? Nova. Okay, precisely. Thank you, Nova. So, it was made this way to emphasize the tone of the quality daw. Okay. Now, that's good because because the effect of using these scales is to create a very different sound that distinguishes the movement from any that has gone before. So, class, those are the composers of the Impressionism music and also the characteristics of Impressionism music. Okay, class. Now, to sum it up the discussion, I want you to do this activity, okay, for generalization. So, the activity was entitled Composer's Table Activity. And the instruction is that fill out the table below by indicating the name of the artist and their works during the Impressionism era and answer the question that follows. Okay, please use a separate sheet of paper for your answer. So, this is the table, class. Kindly take a screenshot na lang, then just do this activity in a clean sheet of paper and just take a photo of it, then send it to our group chats. Okay, so for your application, okay, you will watch the composition of Maurice Ravel. Okay, so Ravel's divining composition, which is the Bolero. Okay, so Bolero is one movement orchestral piece which was premiered in 1928. So while listening, answer the following guided questions on a sheet of paper. Okay, and answer this question: what specific dance form can be formed with Bolero as music, and what feelings or emotions does the music evoke? So I will send to you the I will send the music or the piece to our group chats so that you have a reference in doing this activity and how to pass this activity. Just do this in a yellow paper and just submit it during our face to face. Okay, now for your evaluation, as part of our discussion, in order for me, okay, to assess your learnings, class, okay, let's have a short quiz, but we'll just I will just transfer the quiz to the Google Forms, and I will send it later, and you will take the quiz until 12 midnight, okay, this day. Okay, and for your assignment, okay, oh shit, I'm revealing now the answer to class. So for your assignment, for your follow-up, in a maximum of 250 words, which among the compositions of Impressionism inspired you most and why? And do an advanced rating about the next topic, which is the Expressionism music. So that's all for today, class. I hope you learned a lot for me. Okay, I hope you um, um, are I hope you appreciate, okay, you appreciated those music I've played a while ago, and okay, just relax, stay hydrated, and see you next meeting, class. Okay, thank you, bye bye, and God bless.